Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the fourth round of the 1966 season, the British Grand Prix. It was held on the 16th of July, it had 20 entries, all of them took part in the race with 9 ending up retiring. The race consisted of 80 laps completed in 2 hours, 13 minutes and 13 seconds. Brabham started the race from pole, Denny Holmes was second, Gurney started from third but retired on lap 9 after an engine blowout, Graham Hill was 4th on the grid, Clark 5th, and Surtees started from 6th but retired on lap 67 due to a broken transmission. Brabham dominated the race and won the British Grand Prix from Holm, who came home in second 9.6 seconds after Brabham. Graham Hill moved up 1 position to finish 3rd, he was 1 lap down. Clark also moved up 1 position to finish 4th, he was also 1 lap down. Rindt, who started the race in 7th, ended up in 5th, he was 1 lap down as well, and rounding off the top 6 was Bruce McLaren, who started 13th on the grid, he was 2 laps adrift. Brabham proved to be the fastest man of the race, posting a time of 1 minute and 37 seconds. Greetings from the fantastic Brands Hatch circuit, where a lap starts off with a short sprint into turn 1, Paddock Hill Bend, a medium speed right-hander that falls away from you. This leads into Druids, a tight right-hand hairpin. Then we go down the hill and through Bottom Bend, a medium speed left-hander, followed by South Bank, another medium speed left-hander. Be careful not to go too wide or you could crash into the foot of the overpass. This leads onto the longest straight on the track, ending with Hawthorne Bend, a fast right-hander. Next is Westfield Bend, a medium speed right-hander. It is very easy to mess this one up, so be careful. Dingledale Corner is up next, a fast right-hander, going up the hill. This feeds into Sterling's, a slow left-hander, and after a short sprint we come into the final corner of the track, a long right-hander that brings us around onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Brands Hatch circuit. And here we are in qualifying for the British Grand Prix, coming around to set our first flying lap, a 1:38.021, as we approach one of the cars. I'm not quite sure who it is. What I do know is that it slowed us down quite a bit, or rather slowed me down. So I had to go for 1 extra lap to try and improve my previous lap time, and I managed to set a 1:37.218. Then I lost concentration completely coming into turn 1 there, and kind of messed everything up and decided to call it quits after that. But it looks like we will be starting from 24th, not the best but not the worst either, as we now take a look at the previous British Grand Prix winners. Last time we won here was in 1964, so not that long ago, and in fact it was right here at Brands Hatch, so hopefully today things will go just as well. Anyway, we have Jochen Rindt on pole with Jack Brabham in 2nd, Graham Hill 3rd, 4th is Chris Irwin, followed by Mike Parks in 5th, and rounding off the top 6 is Denny Holm in the Brabham. Then in 7th we have Richie Ginstert, followed by John Surtees in 8th, in 9th we have Lorenzo Bandini, in 10th Clark, 11th Joe Siffert, 12th Scarfiotti, 13th is Ronnie Bucknam, followed by Moses Solana in 14th, in 15th we have Jackie Stewart, followed by Guy Ligier in 16th, 17th is Chris Lawrence, Bob Bondurant is 18th, 19th Mike Spence, Peter Arundel 20th, Chris Amon 21st, 22nd John Taylor, Joe Bonnier 23rd, in 24th we have Pedro Rodriguez, 25th is Bob Anderson, Giacomo Gecchi-Russo 26th, 27th is Innes Ireland, 28th Dan Gurney, 29th Giancarlo Baghetti, Phil Hill 30th, 31st is Trevor Taylor, and Andy Hicks starting from 32nd, so it looked like we were actually quite slow. And in fact we were about 3 seconds slower than 31st position. That's not very promising for the race, but who knows, things could happen and be very good. And we are off. I was kind of slow to react here, not quite sure why, but anyway we are off. Everyone is a bit slow. I'm trying to be a bit cautious. I don't want to crash into anyone as we come through Paddock Hill Bend now. We are behind Trevor Taylor. Hopefully we can gain a couple of positions going into Druids. That would be nice. There we go. We passed Trevor Taylor and Giancarlo Baghetti, and we're now right behind Phil Hill, so that's quite nice as Trevor Taylor tries to, or rather Baghetti tries to go on the outside there, but we managed to keep our position as we take a look at a replay of the start. And once again a bit kind of a slow start on my end, but then again everyone is quite slow going into Paddock Hill Bend, so it's not like we lost anything, nor did we gain too much. 2 positions isn't all that much when you have a field of 32 cars. Anyway, we now move on to lap 3, and I kind of go very wide through this left-hander. That allows Baghetti to move back up into 30th, so we are down 1 position, but hopefully we'll be able to catch back up soon enough as we come around towards the end of lap 3. I go wide through the final corner there, hit the earth embankment, which spins me around, and we are now down in 32nd at the very back of the field, and we've lost a bunch of time there. We are about 7 seconds behind Trevor Taylor. We have to do everything in our power to catch up to him, and indeed we do. On lap 5 finally caught up to him, and there we go for a pass. So we now move up into 31st and chasing after Giancarlo Baghetti. We just started lap 6 and we caught up to Giancarlo Baghetti. Go for a move on the outside there, and we're up in 30th, and we're now looking at Jack Brabham. Can we overtake him coming into this long left-hander? Yes, we can. So that's 29th, and we're now chasing after Phil Hill, who is about 6.5 seconds up the road. Lap 7 now, and we caught up to Phil Hill coming through these series of right-handers. Try to go on the inside, not quite managing to pull it off. He's still there on the left, coming into this slow left-hander. Try to make a switch on to the inside, and there we have it. We're up in 28th, looking at Innes Ireland now. Can we overtake him through the final corner? Yes, we can. We also overtake Chris Amon, so we're now 26th and chasing after Pedro Rodriguez, who's about 1.5 minutes up the road. We're doing quite well now. Moving on to the end of lap 8 as we're coming through the final corner. I touched Pedro Rodriguez there, however he's still in the race. And now overtaking Giacomo Gecchi-Russo for 24th for a brief second there. However, he manages to get more speed out of the corner, but not for long, because as we come through Paddock Hill Bend we overtake him again, and then he overtakes us once again. We're now move on to lap 10, and again I try to overtake Gecchi-Russo, this time making sure that I keep my 24th position. Hopefully we can get around Dan Gurney as well soon enough as we come out of that slow corner. And we are now in 23rd, looking at Bob Anderson coming through the final corner. Maybe another position, hopefully, I'm not quite sure. Trying to keep the car on the road, not to crash into anyone, and there we have it. We now move up into 22nd, however, Bob Anderson gets back at us, but not for long as we come into Paddock Hill Bend. We get around Anderson and John Taylor, and we're now in 21st, chasing after Mike Spence. Moving on to lap 13, still in 21st, and we have Bonnier right in front of us as I go a bit wide through that right-hander. Thankfully I managed to keep the car in front of anyone else, and we have a replay of Mike Parks here coming into the pits. It looks like he's probably having some problems with his car, not quite sure why or what rather. He pulls into the pits and he is out of the British Grand Prix, so that is that for him as we come around to finish lap 13. I go once again a bit wide through this final corner that allows John Taylor to overtake us, so we drop back down to 22nd. However, someone was in the pit and we managed to overtake them, so we move back up into 21st, and I promptly failed to slow down for Paddock Hill Bend, which means that Bob Anderson moves ahead of us and we drop down to 22nd. Then coming into Droids, we once again overtake Bob Anderson and we're back in 21st. Moving on to lap 14 now, and I once again make a move on John Taylor, so we move up into 20th, and hopefully we can overtake Bonnier as well as we take a look at a replay of I'm not quite Dan Gurney, I believe that is. He has problems with his engine. We saw smoke coming out of his engine. He pulls to the side and he's out of the race. As we now move on to lap 15, and we just about managed to overtake Joe Bonner for a split second there, but couldn't quite make the move stick, as we now go towards the end of lap 15 and coming through the final corner there and manage to keep our position. And we have a replay of, I'm not quite sure who it is, but they exit the pit, pull over to the side there. Apparently they had a brake problem and they are out of the British Grand Prix. As we now move on to lap 16, we just managed to overtake Mike Spence for 18th. Looking at Chris Lawrence next. Hopefully we will be able to get around him soon enough. That will be quite fantastic. And we now move on to lap 17, still chasing after Chris Lawrence for that 17th position. As we come through this right-hander, I managed to make a move on the inside and we're up in 17th, trying to overtake Peter Arundel at the moment. And there we have it, we're 16th, as we are now taking a look at Guy Ligier, that's 15th. Also overtake Bob Bondurant, who's being held up by a back marker, so we move up into 14th. That's very good for us. And here we have a replay at the end of lap 18. We see Guy Ligier coming around to set the fastest lap of the race, so congratulations to him. That's quite nice. Obviously he should be very proud of that. Moving on to the end of lap 19 here, and Guy Ligier manages to get around on the inside there due to me going quite wide through that final corner. Hopefully we can catch back up as we come through Paddock Hill Bend, and we indeed get in front of Guy Ligier back in 14th now, looking at an opportunity to overtake Scott Fiotti. That's 13th now, and we have Chris Irwin right in front of us. I kind of touch him, but he is still in the race. Nothing bad happened there, so that's good. As we try once again to overtake Scott Fiotti, and we are now in 12th. Now we have Mike Solana to deal with. Hopefully, sorry, is this Solana, not Mike? So hopefully we can overtake him as well. He overtakes Denny Holm, and we make a pass on the inside on Denny Holm, and we are now 11th. So that's very, very good. As we come towards the end of lap 20 here, and I go very wide through this final corner once again. I hit the embankment there. The car goes wild. I try to get back onto the track. However, the moment I released the clutch to try and power out of that, the engine died and we are out of the British Grand Prix, unfortunately. As we take a look at a replay of Ludovico Scarfiotti here coming through the final corner, a bit wide as well. I think he crashed into us, lost his front right, and he is out of the race. And here is a replay of Andy Hicks coming through the final corner there, very wide, touches the embankment there, is flung all over the place and rejoins the track. However, the moment he tries to, or I tried to get back on the power, the engine died, so not much I could have done about that. It's kind of disappointing. We looked very well. I don't think we could have won any points here today, but we certainly could have moved up a little bit more. So yeah, a bit discouraging, but hey, hopefully there's still time to score points this season, so hopefully things will go better next time. Anyway, we have a replay of Mike Spence here on, not sure what, I think this was on lap 22. He comes into the pits and retires, not quite sure why, but that is the end of his race. And here is a replay of Jack Brabham on the penultimate, actually on lap 25. He pulls to the side and he is out of the race. And here's a replay of Geki Russo coming into the pits on the penultimate lap, and he is out of the race as well. So that's kind of it for the retirements, as we now take a look at a replay of Jochen Rindt coming around to win the British Grand Prix. So congratulations to the Austrian. He did a very good job. And here are the Race result: Graham Hill finishes 2nd, 33rd, 4th, Siffert 5th, Bandini Ginther is 6th. And once again, Guy Ligier managed to post the fastest lap of the race, so congratulations to him as well. And here are the rest of the finishers. Quite a few people managed to finish. Geki Russo himself managed to finish as well because he, well, technically retired on the final lap of the race. Anyway, here are the retirements. Unfortunately, we number ourselves among them, which isn't very good, but hey, what can you do? Anyway, that was the British Grand Prix. Not a very good result for Andy, especially coming after a pretty bad French Grand Prix. We would have liked to have a better result here, obviously, but things didn't go quite our way. Anyway, here are the career statistics, and this was Andy's 145th Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 16 pole positions, has set 27 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 95 races, 74 of them in the points, has won 43 Grand Prix, 4 at the Indianapolis 500, 6 in Monaco, has 8 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 507 points, has retired 50 times, has experienced 3,098 out of 3,817 laps, has 7 bronze trophies, 16 silver trophies, 43 gold trophies, and as an extension, 43 podiums. And here is a quick look at the championship standings. Jochen Rindt takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship with Bandini in 2nd, Bob Anderson, Andy Higgs and John Surtees fighting for 3rd, Surtees 5th, 6th is contested between Denny Holm and Graham Hill. The last person to score points is Joe Bonnier in 13th, and bringing up the bottom of the standings is Ludovico Scarfiotti down in 32nd. So that is pretty much it for the Drivers' standings. Let's now move on to the Constructors, and here we have Cooper Car Company leading the Constructors' Championship with Ferrari in 2nd, DW Racing Enterprises and Bruce McLaren Motor Racing fighting for 3rd. 5th are Brabham Racing, Owen Racing are 6th. The last team to score points are Anglo-Swiss Racing Team in 9th, and bringing up the bottom of the Constructors' standings are Amon Racing down in 19th. So that was the British Grand Prix. Once again, a pretty bad result, especially coming after a very bad result in France as well, so not very happy with that, but mistakes have been made and, well, we have paid dearly for that. Anyway, our next race is the Dutch Grand Prix at the Zandvoort. I'm looking forward to that. Zandvoort is among my favorite tracks, so I enjoy driving there quite a lot. Hopefully we'll have a better race as well there, so yeah, we'll have to see how things pan out, but that's pretty much it for this video. There's nothing more I can add to any of this, except reiterate the fact that I'm quite disappointed in the result and that I probably should try to be a bit more careful in the future. But yeah, that is the end of this video. Don't forget to vote for next season's team. Link is in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.